Hey, everybody. Joe Lewis here from Battle Rankings. We're doing our Battle Rankings live. I'm here with my producer and lovely and talented wife, Ann. Say hi, Ann.
Hi, Anne.
And so we're putting together another wonderful, lovely discussion for all of you. So one of the things I want to talk about was just kind of get some housekeeping out of the way. Let's talk about the upcoming schedule so that everyone knows. So I'm putting this out there, and the idea is that we want to discuss various books. This obviously today on September 8th. This is September 8th, the year of our Lord, 2002. No, sorry, 2020. There's a 2 in there somewhere and a 0. We're finishing up the our D-Day part 2. And then starting next week on the 15th, we're going to do Germans, the D-Day Germans, the regular Germans, the Wehrmacht, parts 1 and 2. One on 15th, the part 2 on the 22nd. And then please note there's a little bit of a change. We are going to be on Monday, the 28th, I'm going to go over using different tools for scoring tournaments. And I want to talk about different ways for scoring a tournament and actually also talk about best coast pairings and how you could bring that into your tournament and how you can use it. And then also, and from there, we're going to go on to the Americans in the beginning of October. Whoops, I'm just messing around here. Let me make that bigger there. And then from there, at the end of October, we're going to do the Waffen SS. And then November 10th and the 17th, we're going to, the book that's being released here in a couple weeks, we'll go over the Soviet migration and talk about the formations there. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing every time we do that, I am going to post a survey and see how you, the community, also rank the different formations. And so I'll have my SME, my subject matter expert, someone who's familiar with the nationality that we're talking about, and we're going to discuss the nationality. They're going to give me their input. I'll give my input, and then we'll take a look to see what you lovely people, the audience, the people that make me go, we're going there. I already have a question, which I guess I'll go to here. So the question is already out of the bag. Speaking of November, has there been talk about Masters? Yes, there's been talk behind the scenes. There's a lot of things to consider. So when a decision is made, Battlefront and probably myself will make an announcement, regarding that. But there's a lot of things that need to happen. So we'll just go. I'll leave it at that. So, but things are talking. Okay. By the way, so the purpose of this is that remember we're a tournament centric site, and we deal with the tournaments. So everything we're talking about here is with tournaments. Now, when we talk about formations and if they're on their grading, that has nothing to do with the fact that if you're doing a historical, those things probably work just perfectly well for historicals. But we're talking about if you had around 100-point army and you brought it to a tournament, how well would it do versus what's out there at the moment at the time that we talk about this. So for you historical people, that's fine. But we're just talking about, I got 100 points or even 80 points, or somewhere in between the two. Hey, if I brought this army, how well would it perform? And there's a lot of people out there who just want to put the army together and play it. Well, then hopefully we could set your expectations. Let's go to how we're grading everything here. So we asked everyone to grade the formation based off of this criteria. I'll start from the bottom, D. This list will just struggle a lot. That means if you put it on the table, you're just probably not going to have a fun time. Then a C is potentially a fun list, but will struggle a little, which is fine. Those are you want to do a fun list and then push it on the table just to have fun, this is probably a good list for that. B is a good against certain opponents or situations. Once again, it could be your fun list, but hey, you might have a chance to win that tournament, but the things need to line up for you. An A is a strong contender. Hey, I could be a contender. Supposed to look out for me. And a few weaknesses. That means they, now I want to do. You never knock me down. You never knock me down. Anyway, so
what movie is that from?
I think that's Raging Bull.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm still standing. Anyway, so it's a few weaknesses. It's a strong contender, and then an M, which is it's the meta. It's the thing. Man, they're so good, they'll seem broken. So that's the criteria that we're putting together here for this. And we did a survey, and we got that survey back, and it was I'll have to check. It was around 50 people. Tomorrow I'll be releasing the survey for the Germans. So within 24 hours after this, I'll have the Germans up, and you guys could start filling that out, knocking your socks off, telling us what you guys think. So I'm going to bring in my subject matter expert, Andrew Hobson. Say hi, Andrew.
Hello, everybody.
Andrew's just on the other side of town with the cicadas, and so Andrew, let's recap.
All right.
What we did. Oh, here we go.
There we are.
Yep. Let's recap what we did last week. We reviewed these. Your C's ended up the SAS Parachute Squadron and the Sherman DD Armor Squadron. Your B's, which a lot of these just landed kind of in the middle. Parachute Company, Air Landing, the Canadian Recce Squadron. Yeah, thank you. And the Commando Troop. And then the A. So the breaching group was right in there. And then kind of at the end, we were having this discussion. We had the Recce Squadron, the regular Recce Squadron in a B. But after we talked and we were done, I moved it to an A. And I think, kind of recap from last week, it looks like the purpose of this book is how much of the formation you can get to put on the table. And how does your base formation support the support? Basically, it's like the other way around.
Because the support is where your real assets are.
Yeah, because then this. Why don't you tell us what you can get in the support?
Tell them what they've won, Joe.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, crocodiles M10 Achilles with their AT-14 and their reasonable price. Averys with their ability to basically vaporize an infantry platoon in one shot or take out an 88 gun line in one shot. Lots and lots of recon. The artillery is solid. I think a little overpriced, but solid. The Hawker, the Tempests, the Typhoons, which I'm a big fan of. So you have a lot of game-winning assets that you can wheel onto the table. So, for example, the Achilles will pretty much be able to disassemble a Tiger list pretty well, and the Crocodiles can pretty much take down any infantry list. So you have a lot of options that are in your can support any of those lists.
I'm actually looking for I should have pulled it out because I knew I was going to look for. Yeah, I think there's one. We're talking about the artillery, and I think it's the Cromwell. Is it the CSs?
What are they called? The Cromwells with the artillery with a 95 millimeter cannon or 75.
Yeah, I was looking
the
up
Centaurs. The Centaurs.
Centaurs.
Yeah.
Yes, sure, Centaurs. Oh, come on.
They're Cromwells with a howitzer built into them.
Yeah, the thing about those guys, and I'm going to find them here in a second. I believe they're like, I want to say like 20 or 30
points. It's 20 points for 6, I think.
No, I think for 4.
For 4? Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, it's just, it's a real shame because I don't think you'll ever see them on.
Which is a pity because I painted up a bunch of them. Yeah, so I have a whole bunch sitting, cooling their jets on my table on my trays.
Yeah, well,
but they're cool.
Of course, I can't find it, and we're doing this live.
Yeah, well, it makes for good podcasting.
Yeah,
page 68.
Hey, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right
page
there.
Page 68. Yes, it is 20 points for 4, and they're only trained, and they're a 3-3, so basically a 105. But they have smoke and a direct fire. They're brutal AT-8, rate of fire 1, but not slow firing. So at least you got that going for you. But yeah, that's some serious points.
Right.
As opposed to 4 priests, which are also 3-3, which are only 16. And the direct fire is a little better, although it is slow firing. So yeah, that's a little disappointing. I suppose you could use them as assault guns, but with front armor 6, I don't know if I would.
Well, but if you have the two Averys for 8 points.
8 points.
Yeah, I can have 2 sets of Averys for 16 points.
Right.
And have some points left over for recon or something versus those things. Because the Avery is, if you're up against infantry, it's a infantry remover.
Yes. Yeah. Auto firepower.
Yeah. And then you're ranging in.
And you can fire and move you can fire a bombardment and move on the same turn. So
right.
So yeah, they are nasty. Yes, the range is only 6 inches, but that's what they're designed for.
All in your face.
So basically, you template your infantry, and then your infantry. You template their infantry, and then you assault the survivors with your infantry because there's no minimum, no danger close.
Yeah, and then unlike a crocodile, it could take an objective.
That's true.
So, or hold on to it. Okay. Anyway, so that's that. So what we're going to do, give me a second here.
But yes, talking about the recon real fast, I put together a list for 17 points.
Yeah.
So that left me 83 points for support. So crocodiles, 8 M10s and 4 Averys.
Oh, guess what I picked up over the weekend?
I'm assuming Averys.
No. It does begin with an A.
Oh, Achilles. Yeah.
Okay, I picked up more Achilles. Yeah. So that just seems the way to go.
Yeah, there may be a purchase in my near future too.
So but actually, that's not. We were talking before. Actually, I'm putting together some Soviets right now. So, with a good idea, what's coming in the new book, putting some painting some pieces. I just assembled them over the weekend. Now it's start painting. So, but enough about that. Let's go. Let's talk about the British. Let's go back. So, once again, using our scale M, A, B, C, D, we're going to first talk about the Rifle Company. So, gonna if I can get your attention to turn into page. Remember, this is the interactive. So the Rifle Company
Page 30.
is page 30 in your books and your handouts that you could have got at your local game store for what's the retail on this thing? I don't know.
25-ish.
I don't know. I just buy a bunch of stuff and the guy tells me something. I hand him my card and I say, "Thank you, sir. May you have another?"
Yeah, and then hide the receipt. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that all that stuff. Ann all gets that electronically, right, Ann? Yeah, she's shaking her head over there. No. Oh, anyway, So on page 30, you got your Rifle Company. They're confident, they're careful. Save on 3 pluses. By the way, you have to put in there because eventually, when you get to the Soviets, some of them are 4 pluses. They counterattack on a 3, but they really don't want to get out of their foxholes, so they rally on 5s, but stick around on 4. So that's a kind of an odd, thing. I guess if you get in their face, they'll want to do something about it. But
Right.
I do know a way to fix that. For 2 points, you could change your basically change your 2IC to a bagpiper, and you rally on 4s. So, yeah, it's and if you have the bagpipe model, which I need to go find one, that's pretty cool.
I may actually have one. I'll look.
Then of course the 7 Bren 1 Piat mortar for 9 points. So and you have a lot of options. You got your mortar platoon. I'm not big on the Victor machine guns themselves, but the MMG carrier platoons are cool. Or I like the Wasps. Now the I think that's what for these guys. It's what 4 points for Wasps, 4 points for Wasps, and they can go fricassee something. And of course, and then your recon is actually part of your formation with the carrier patrol itself for 2 points, which by the way is really good for recon in the way it moves. Cross country of 10. I think the only downside, which by the way, if you're a Soviet player, you're like, this is a downside. Yeah, it has a cross check of 4.
Right.
Yeah, Soviet players like, man, I think the model falls over if it sees a wood. But
you're talking about the BA-10s?
Yeah,
the like cross of 5 or 6 or something. Yeah,
it's bad. Well, anyway, how about Andrew? How would you?
I would rate this an A. I feel like this is sort of the best jack of all trades unit in the book. It does everything. You have good solid rifle platoons for assaults. They're going to get in. They can night attack if you need them to, and you have enough assets that are formation that move out of the deployment zone and night attack that are pretty solid. The 3-inch mortar platoon is good. Yeah, I too am not a fan of the Vickers machine gun platoon. I don't like the idea that I have to put all my machine guns in a single block. I like to be able to move them around, spread them out amongst my platoons. The 6-pounder for the price, great anti-tank gun. Having the recon is integrated, awesome. So you can do that, and you can get up to 4 patrols. So that way you can shut down any ambushes on your Crocs. So your Crocs roll up behind them and don't have to worry about flank shots. The Wasps are good, cheap flamethrowers, and flamethrowers are I think, a lot better than they were in version 3, especially because now you can move your full movement and fire versus you can only move 6 inches and fire. So you had to be right on top of your opponent before you could cook them. And now a Wasp can run out of cover and still barbecue the opponent without them having a chance to shoot back, which is a big step up. They also have the best cheap artillery option in the game, which is the 4.2-inch mortars, which is a command card. Yeah, which they're the only ones who can take them. I suppose the Desert Rats could take them too, but yeah.
Right.
I like them. I think they're really good, and they don't suck up so many points that you don't have support options that can really bring the pain. So I like them.
Right.
They're good on offense. They're good on defense.
Yeah, I agree. I like the 6-pounder with the 11 gun. Okay, so it's a 4+, but it's not the main anti-tank. It's a something that adds.
Right, and it's cheap. It's cheap. 10 points for 4. Yeah.
Yep, and adding the mortars and the Wasps. I like this too. I think it's the way to go. That's why I was doing A. And I realized that when I was setting up, I did not go to the. Why is this taking so long? There. I forgot to bring up the fans thingy as we were chit chatting before this. So hey, hold on. Hey, Andrew.
Yes.
Say something else beautiful about.
Well, to fill some time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The motivation on a 4-up and the rally on a 5-up is not great. It's kind of the old cautious, not stupid rule that was available. So that's not fantastic. But again, if you have the Piper there, that helps. You have to keep your 1IC nearby. That's a big plus. The one thing I don't like is that because they're trained, it means they only have a 50% chance of digging in. So that's why I prefer them on offense rather than defense, because I don't want to have to move and then dig back in and fail 50% of the time. So that's problematic. The carriers, just for what they bring, dirt cheap. And their machine guns, and after they've done their spearhead move, they drop in behind the infantry and provide suppressing fire on anything that tries to attack them. But you can really put together a good formation that's not going to break for, well, let's see, 2 points plus 9, 18, 20, 30 points. You could have a good solid formation, and the rest all goes into support. And it can defend or attack.
Right.
All right. I see results coming up.
Yeah. Let's see what the public's seeing, because I have it right here at my fingertips.
Oh, hit us.
Yeah. Well, look. Hey, the majority of people agree with us.
Awesome.
Or we agree with them. I don't know however you want to look at it.
Well, they went first, so we agree with them. Yeah.
So 42% A, got 38% B, some C's, and a couple M's. I could see the M's. I mean, there might be an argument for it, but I think it's just definitely an A because of their motivation.
Yeah. I don't see them as broken, but I definitely, because they're still going to be tough to push, but a good player can really do some damage with them. And a mediocre player was certainly still going to be very, very hard to beat, just because it's such a durable formation.
Right. I think you can make mistakes and still.
It can absorb a few. It can absorb a few hits. Yeah, it's not like you're pushing Panzergrens where one bad turn and you've lost a whole platoon.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I think that's definitely a solid A. So let's move to the motor rifle, which is kind of a where's the motor rifle in here? Probably before rifle.
Probably.
Yeah, good thing I had this bookmarked, huh? Yeah. Well, about, oh, okay, maybe not.
Where maybe only there were a table of contents. Okay,
Probably is.
probably. That takes on it. Are the motor rifles only desert rats, or are they?
No regulars
All right.
and the desert.
Oh, here they are. Here they are. Oh,
Yeah,
there they are.
48.
48.
48 and your
Yep. 12.
um so
So again, you could put together a whole formation for 16 points. I think that would be a very brittle formation, but you could definitely do it.
yeah, I think with these guys, the fact that I mean they're 6 points, they're cheap, but four Bren guns, a Piat, and a mortar. So six compared to
Nine.
6 guys versus what?
10.
Yeah,
Yeah, 10.
and so I
Nine. Can't count.
yeah, a bad round. These guys are basically in either they're checking or they're ineffective.
Right. Yeah. But I think the motor platoon, the motor company is really more of a defensive list than the rifle company. The motor, doctrinally, they would run out, seize an objective, and then survive the counterattacks. And if you look at the way the list is built, they've got 2 integrated AT platoons, and then fewer machine guns, but it's because these guys have a rate of fire of 3 rather than the rifle teams are a rate of fire of 3.
Oh yeah, 3s and 2s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if they have to get up and move or take, or in a fair fight or something like that, I think they're going to really struggle.
Yes, I agree. But defending, they'll be okay.
So I'll brave out this. I'm going to give these guys a. I don't know. I'm vacillating between a C and a B.
Oh, I'm giving them a B. I mean, they're still going to be tough. And again, you can if we use the same rationale as we did on why the recon is so great, you don't have to spend a lot of points to put a formation on the table. This is very much the same thing because you put 2 platoons on, that's 12 points. You put the HQ, now you're at 14, and you put your 1 required Bren carrier, now you're at 16. Now you've got all your black boxes filled, and if you really want to have more, you can add AT or you can add machine guns or mortars, and now you've got a pretty large, at least a large number of platoons, and you still have a lot of points left over for support options. So that's why I would say a B.
A B, because they've
but it's more brittle than the rifle company.
If on the recce,
Yep.
If you filled out the recce, how many points was that? I think you said 17 or something.
I think it's like 12 or so this is just barely more, and it's going to be more durable. It's harder. It's easy to wipe out a recon platoon, and it's going to be a little harder. Certainly, if the motor platoon is dug in, it's going to be hard to take out.
All right, so you talked me into a B. So let's see what the masses have said. Let me go over there. I did. And go for the big reveal. There we go. Motor Rifle Company, B.
Yeah, B and C. Oh, yep. One meta. One person says they're the meta.
Yeah, well, maybe that's because of the options or something like that.
That could be it.
Yeah, I know. Brian Coaches keeps saying squeak. I know it's one of your bugs out there is pretty squeaky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, night attack. At least the AOP isn't flying overhead anymore.
So, all right. So we'll make that a B. So I'm going to slide it over in the master chart. updating this. Not that you guys could see any of it, but I'll reveal it later. All right, so there we go. So that's that list. Next is the Sherman Armored. Um, Sherman Armor, which is in your handout that everyone should have. Didn't know there were going to be handouts.
Right.
Which I think is earlier in Midway book. The Sherman Company, which is different from the D-Day Landing Company. Where are you?
46.
46. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and do an analysis?
This one's a little tricky. The problem that British Shermans always have relative to American Shermans is they don't have stabilizers, so they're not great on the move. They don't have a 50 cal, so they can't just lay back and dig infantry out with volleys of, showers of 50 cals.
Yes.
But they are hit on 4s, so you have that going for you. But again, they're trained, so 4 up. You can pack. You could go 2 Sherman 75s and a Firefly, and so you could end up with 4 Fireflies built right into your company. But it's going to get expensive because that's a 13-point platoon. So 4 times 13 is 52, I believe. Yeah. So that's more than half your points, and then you still need an HQ. With the smallest you can get is 8 points. The advantage, though, of doing it that way is you do get more 17-pounders in your list, but your ability to take on infantry is decreased. However, you can take up to 4 tanks in your HQ. And the beauty of that is then you can attach your HQ to the platoon that's assaulting, I believe. So now you could suddenly have an assault going in with 7 tanks and as many as 8. So that's not going to be very pleasant for a German platoon taking that. And they're hitting on 4s if you pin them 5s, so not bad. Plus, that's also a lot of direct fire smoke. Their Stuarts, that's a good 6 points to spend. They're really good at ruining infantry's day. The Crusader AA, what is it? It's a 5, rate of fire 4, AT 5, firepower 5 up.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. The moving rate of fire 2 while moving, that doesn't really impress me. But it's only, 2 points? It's dirt cheap, 3 points. So
yeah,
it's better than no AA, but I prefer to have a mobile wagon.
Well, I guess if you have 3 points, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you know you're going to be facing Stukas, well, then it's worth it. But and at least they're mobile, unlike the Bofors. So.
Well, the one thing this does get away from is the concept of your formation should be wrapping around your
right. You're not going to have a lot of support.
No.
40 points of support probably.
Right. Even if you did the headquarters full out, 4 Shermans, 4 Shermans, Stuarts in the AA. I mean, you're right. You're half your points is in your formation.
Right.
And and all of a sudden after you get your Achilles, because you have to have the Achilles. But granted, that is a lot of 17-pounders, shooting down range.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I guess given Shermans, I would almost always prefer the American ones because of stabilizers and the 50 cals.
Right.
Especially now that British no longer have semi and direct fire, which was one of my favorite rules from version 3, where I could leave my Firefly back and just lob shells in, re-rolling misses. That was great. But the Shermans by themselves, I mean, they're cheap. I would definitely put this as very solid C.
You're putting a C.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a C also, just because the kind of the I don't know what the thinking of the book is that you want to take as many as Achilles and uh, um, crocodiles as possible.
Right.
Though you can get one set of each with this.
Right.
So
well, another thing you could do, which actually could be kind of nasty, is you take the HQ. You don't necessarily have to max it out. 1 platoon of Shermans, 2 platoons of Stuarts in the AA. Now you've just got a lot of shots. And then you use your support to kind of rip up, take care of the armor, and this takes care of infantry.
Right, and I guess your Stuarts are actually like
they're 8 points for 4.
Yeah, and they're supporting the. Yeah. Oh, hold on.
So they're not black box, but they're formation.
Hold on. So someone in the peanut gallery.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, I don't know, because the thing is that you're going to want to put those Stuarts out there. All of a sudden, even if like you got 57s or something like that, you
need a lot of smoke
on the Stuarts.
Yeah, you need smoke to protect.
Right, and so far, we haven't talked about one thing of artillery in it.
Yeah,
and if your Shermans are just firing smoke, they're not killing things.
Nope.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the C on this one.
So would I.
So okay, so let's see what everyone else has said.
Oh.
That's the Sherman. Yeah, they went B, A, and some C.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm maybe not seeing what they're seeing.
I'm not seeing it either.
Yeah.
It could be that you get all the fireflies and.
Well, those are usually the first to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
right now that the attacker allocates the hits, no kidding.
Right, and then even if you try to move it off, it's like if you throw enough hits down there, But yeah, so with the B and A and some C's, I don't know. I got probably averaged out our C's and the. Well, I guess we'll put it as a B.
Probably a B.
Yeah, I'll begrudgingly put it over as a B. I don't know. The masses have spoken.
Well, there may be some cards that really juice it.
Not really, because if you look like the Polish card, if you make them, Polish, it's like, I don't know, it's like 2 points a tank or something like that. I think that's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Then you're not taking any support. So, okay.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing it either, but.
Yeah. Well, so with that, let's go to the Cromwell Armored Squadron.
That would be page 41.
41 in our handout in our British D-Day book. So that one turned.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the recon one. You want the regular one?
Regular one.
Regular one.
I think it's right after the. Yeah. No, those are rats. Okay, where are you?
Oh, there it is, 24. Oh, no, I'm lying. Sorry, it's dark out here. I hear wolves.
You hear wolves?
Well, it's the Cromwell Recon. But I'm not just seeing a vanilla Cromwell Squadron.
Maybe it's a card. I think it's a card.
Okay.
Yes, matter of fact, I believe it is a card, and in the card, it's just like the Sherman list, except where there's Shermans replaced with Cromwells, and I think it's a point more per. So this is the three Cromwells plus a Firefly. Is that correct? Yep.
So basically the Desert Rats list,
But yeah,
okay. But
roughly
same morale ratings as the Sherman. So four up confident and 4 up skill and hit on a 4.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
For a point more. So really,
I'm-
all you're gaining is 2 inches for a point. For the platoon.
You know what? That 2 inches can make all the difference.
I agree. I like the Cromwells. The biggest drawback I find is that the Firefly just can't keep up. You go sprinting off down the road, and the Firefly is like, wait.
Yes.
But if I'm going to run Cromwells, I'm going to run the Desert Rats one.
Well, we'll be getting there shortly. So, what do you give this list?
I don't know. I think it's not. I think the speed itself doesn't offset the advantage. Okay, the other big difference is that Cromwells have protected ammo.
Oh,
They
well,
remount on a 3-up. That's actually pretty big. Again, I'm going to say a solid B. Now, the other thing they have, which is nice, is in the recon in the HQ. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right one. Do they get the Cromwell CS with the howitzer?
Oh, in the HQ.
In the HQ.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Because
they have it in the recon version of the Cromwell list, and they have it in the Desert Rats.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know whether what those cards are.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cleaned since last week.
Yeah.
Well,
so, yeah.
So where do you think you put these guys?
I'm going to put it as a B. I think they could, against certain opponents, they're just going to have a field day. I mean, a 28-inch cross-country dash is pretty awesome. If you're an attacker, you plop down your or if even a fair fight and it's free for all or something like that, you plop all your Cromwells right in the center of the board. You can hit literally almost anywhere on the board.
Right, you can just
so your opponent doesn't really know what to defend, where to defend, because they can't really tell where your spearhead's going to be.
And the thing about the Firefly is that at some point you could find a place, stop, and just start shooting from that position.
Right.
You know, as the other guys are moving around.
The other 3 go off sprinting. Yeah. So I mean, that becomes a morale issue because you've got 3 of your one of your tanks is out of command.
Oh,
while the other 3 are.
I might be wrong. It might not. Maybe it is the. I might have copy and paste. Oh, look at me. I should have double checked my work. You know what? I think it is the Recce Squadron. I probably didn't put the thing down.
Okay. I'll flip that. Okay. Well, that has another interesting rule, and that is that you are. You have the scout rule, which means that you are now gone to ground until you start shooting.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
So it's like the old chieftain. It was the scout tanks rule, basically. So that's going to add a lot to your survivability if you're on a good board. If you're on a board with good terrain, you'll be hit on 6s. So that's not a bad rule, and it's 17 points for 3. But
no Firefly.
The Recce one, no fire. All your 17 pounders are support options.
Right.
I don't necessarily see that as a huge drawback. Although for 18 points for the Desert Rats version, you get the 3 Cromwells plus the Firefly. So that's a 1-point Firefly, but you're losing the scout rule.
Yeah. Right.
So it just depends on what you think you're going to run into. If you're going to be hitting Panthers and Tigers, the Desert Rats is probably the way to go. If you think you're hitting a lot of infantry lists, well, then the Recce is the way to go.
I think I'm going to go with a B on this one.
Yeah, I would.
I don't like 3 tank platoons.
No.
Me personally.
No, I don't either. Also, the Cromwells and the Stuarts in this have scout and spearhead, so your recon is integral to the formation.
Yes, that's fine. I mean, I think you can have real fun with this list. I just think it's a little too crunchy a bad turn, you could be close to breaking
Right.
the turn.
Right. Yeah, you want to be in a doubles game where you have this and your partner has like a British infantry company.
Yeah, that's a good point. So let's see what the public said. They went with
B and C.
BCBA, yeah. So, yeah.
Not as good as the Shermans.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that it's either a B or C. So,
Well, at least no one thinks it's broken.
Well, that is true. So we'll plop it. We'll plop that in the boy, the B thing's getting really.
Yeah, we'll have to go B plus, add B plus and a B minus column.
Well, or is it the fact that there's a lot of B's? Hey, the lists don't suck, but there's in the book there's some better options.
Right. I mean, what is nice about it is that if you just stay in the B's, boy, there's a list to match any play style.
Yeah. And some more comments. 3 tank platoons outside of heavy tanks is formation suicide. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
I would not disagree.
Well, I think that leads us to the rats. So the Desert Rat Rifle Company, which
you would probably speak better to that because you ran it in a tournament 2 weeks ago.
I do run it. I like it. Let me set myself up here. Desert Rat Rifle. So with the Desert Rat Rifle, come back here. The thing about it is it's cheaper than the regular rifle, which allows you to get other things. You can get more of the little recon units, the guns, and have plenty of points left over. For even a 100-point list, you can have a lot of options with the formation, and then have enough for crocodiles, 2 things of Achilles. And then I run it with the French, the commie French, as a 3rd platoon of infantry, which allows you to have that much more on the table. So that's just a lot of stuff on the table for these guys. Now they do have an Achilles. Speaking of Achilles, they do have an Achilles heel, which is their. They don't like to stick around. They're not that heroic.
Nope. The one I see can't be everywhere.
Right. So, and I don't think the bagpipers help me in this. So they counterattack on a 4. Okay. They do hit in 3s in assault. That's just like the regular rifles. But they're 5s for pretty much everything else. Your 1IC really needs to be with your infantry units. And you get into one of those, fair fights where, like, encounter or free for all. Your 1IC's only got to be one of the infantry, because your infantry is sitting on the objectives, and
it gets assaulted. It's probably getting pushed back.
Well, if your 1IC is not there, right. The chances of rolling 2 5s, 2 4s is better.
4s.
Unpinning for 2 5s, it happens. But the thing is that it's the infantry is a support for the support items. So I give this list an A, but I know how to push it.
Right. Yeah, this is definitely one where you have to support it correctly, because it by itself is going to have a hard time.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. You're getting at least an extra platoon compared to a regular rifle company.
Yeah. And by the way, those the French commies that I had. They change by having another infantry unit running out there, which by the way you could do with this also. You can have three, but the French commies are fearless, so they tend to unpin. Having them running around causing all type of havoc is just it takes a lot of heat off of your main force. So
yeah, they can go charging at your. Yeah, they can go after the opponent's mortars or something like that. Well,
yes,
and they'll get shot and they'll unpin and then they'll keep coming. Yeah,
right. They don't know any better. That's why I give it A. Well, how about you?
Yeah, I would say an A is certainly reasonable because again, the cheap price. They're still very skilled. They just don't expect them to win a lot of assaults if you don't wipe out the opponent on the assault. If you don't wipe them out in the first round, you're probably getting pushed back. But if you get in and you wipe them out, well, you won, or at least you've killed enough that it doesn't matter.
Well, let's take a look at what the public said.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, the B's and A's were pretty close. 18 B's, 16 A's, some C's, and some D's. I could see where, if you look at it, you could say, oh, that reluctant thing is probably a good reason for the D. But I look at it as, hey, you know what? We're rolling dice, so I can roll 1s and 2s for fearless.
All right.
I can roll 5s or 6 for these guys. So, but I think a lot of people thinking B's and A's. So you know what? It's my show. I'm gonna make them an A.
There you go. Yeah, and I'm just running the math in my head. You're still going to have about 70 to 75 points left for support after you build a reasonable formation.
Yes.
And it will be a lot. And they, unlike a recon unit, they can actually hold an objective. So.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the Desert Rat, and that's why we can't have nice things. And drop their mouse. That's why let's move to the Desert Rat motor. Which I know.
Well, it's the same issues as in the regular motor rifles, is that they are small, crunchy platoons, 6 stands, and they're still reluctant, and they're only counterattacking on a 4. Everything else looks the same.
Yeah, I think this is a great way to start rolling looking for that 5+ on the reluctant.
Yeah, but you could put together an entire list. Tick all your black boxes for 14 points.
Yeah, 10, 14. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's cheaper than recon, or at least, actually, no, the recon you can do for like 6, but then it's too easy to break. But I think a decent one you can do for 17. But you take the 4 black boxes, you take the mortars, and maybe you take 1 or 2 carrier patrols.
Right.
That's going to be a hard formation to break.
Yeah, but the thing is, what you got to think about all the missions, right? You don't defend in every mission, and you get that fair fight in there.
Yeah.
Especially with dust up or encounter.
Right.
Someone's got to get up to move to do something.
Right.
You can't win holding your objective. You have to go for it.
85 points of support.
What's that?
85 points of support. 100-point list. That's a lot of anger.
It is.
That's a lot of British polite anger. Yeah.
That's some crispiness.
I said good day. Yeah.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
Yeah.
But the thing about the one goofy thing about the crocodiles, it can't take or hold an objective.
Right.
So
they'll have a 12-inch circle of death around them, but nothing else can get there to hold the objective.
Right. Then you gotta eventually you have to get these guys out of their holes over there to the objective, right?
Right.
You know, if you want to do it in a timely manner, you pretty much have to kind of follow the
Yeah.
crocodile.
Pretty much. And then you flood the zone with Bren carriers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen,
It
but
could.
I think this one's really tricky. It's too crunchy.
It's very crunchy.
So,
It's very crunchy.
So I'll let you go first.
This is one of those weird ones. It's like I don't think the formation itself is that great, but because you can put so much support on the table, it makes it good. So if I was just rating the formation, I would definitely give it like a C or a D. But because of the fact that I've still got 80 points left for support, I'm going to say B.
You're going to go B. I don't know. I'm between a B and a C.
Okay.
So, but I think if we go with the thing that we're talking about, we go with the idea. Hey, you know what? It's all about the formation support. I'm gonna have to. That's gonna drive it up to a B. All right. Let's see what the very intelligent viewers. By the way, you guys who watch this, you are the most intelligent Flames War players out there because you watch this show. Just letting you know. What did you guys say?
Wow, they were right in line with your thinking.
Yeah, it's waffling between B's and C's, but there's some A's. But guess what? Some D's. And my guess, you know what? It was 6 people said D. Let me see something here. Let me go up on the last list with the Desert Rifle. Only 3 there.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably the same 3 plus, 3 other people going, boy, I don't like that crunchiness.
Yeah, I agree. That's the problem. The list itself is not that awesome, but the fact that the list you can get a reasonable formation so cheaply makes it viable.
Well, I guess that with the A's in there and the C's, because between the B's and the A's, that's
right on the B minus land.
Yeah.
Now, if this were one of my students, they'd be telling me absolutely it has to be a B. And
well, we'll make it a B.
Yeah. Boy, this B column is going to be enormous. We bell curve this at the end. It's going to be
not a
bell curve.
It's getting there.
Yep.
Well, all right. So now it gives us the Desert Rat Cromwell Armored Squadron.
Yeah.
Well,
I have mixed feelings on this one. It was probably my favorite armor list from version 3 because the Cromwells were great in version 3, and they were cheap because they're reluctant, but they still had vet skills as opposed to here where they're trained. And I think that trained really nerfs them quite a lot because Cromwells have to rely on speed, and if you're getting a 4-up skill, that means you're only blitzing or following me half the time, blitzing half the time, and with a 5-up you are not going to get a follow me. You can never count on that, so that nerfs them. But that said, the speed kills, and they are cheap. And let's see, you get 18 points for 3 Cromwells and a Firefly. I mean, that's still a good option. Is it better than the Shermans? I don't know. The morale's slightly worse, and you're paying 1 more point for the Firefly. But on the other hand, you do have protected ammo, so you will be remounting more often. You remount on a 3-up. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Usually, I don't know. I think, I don't know. If you're bailed out, that means something happened. Something went wrong somewhere. Guys firing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unlike the other Cromwell list, no scout rule.
So
you're trading scout for theory points.
Firefly.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing too. This is a tough one. I would have to play it a few times. I could see it being really effective against some lists, but I could see it, really struggling too. If it can use its speed, it's great. But if you're playing, say, No Retreat, where you're wedged into a very tiny frontage, there's not a lot of options for speed. But if you're playing something like Encounter, or Encounter might be good, or Free for All, maybe less so. But Encounter, you can punch your opponent in the nuts pretty hard by turn 2.
That's an interesting.
Put it delicately, yes.
Yeah.
Or we anglicize it up a bit. Yeah, in the plums. Yeah,
The plums.
And you get that kind of cool HQ with the two 95 millimeter close support tanks, which can bombard. They have smoke. They have direct fire smoke. And the gun is brutal, but it is slow firing. But 2-up firepower, not bad.
No, not bad. Not bad. Yeah,
this is a tough one. I mean, my gut feeling is it's a B, but you're also spending a lot of points. You're not getting off cheap on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So cheapest you go is 5 points plus 13 times 2, 26 plus 5, 31, and that's dirt cheap, and you can't really take any losses. In this formation, you're going to take losses.
I think this is a really fun list.
Oh, I think this list will be a hoot, and I'm definitely going to be playing it.
Yeah. I think, get one of those tournaments, a local tournament, just want to run something different.
Right.
This one will just be a blast. Just to fly around the table and stuff like that. It's almost like you're running around with, like Soviet T-34s,
they're very similar.
Yeah, except you get more T-34s.
Well, yeah. The gun is a little better, but
yeah.
But really, you would not want to take less than 3 platoons and probably 4 platoons in this list, because those platoons are going to fall off the table.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put this one as a C.
Okay.
I think it'd be a blast to run, but I don't.
I think it's overpriced.
I think it's overpriced. You're going to lose. Once you clip a few of the tanks, and you get checks, and they're just going to run away.
Yep.
Instead of dying to the man that you would hope they would. But they're no fool. Their moms didn't raise no fools.
That's right.
So, but I would definitely play that list, but I think
they'll live to fight another day. So yeah, if you're running an Iron Man, you'll be in a happy place. Or not.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They didn't die to the man, so I might have a bunch of stuff.
Right, but they're going to run off. They're not going to stay on the table.
No.
You could, I think, unfortunately it's too many points, because I could see taking this with like another formation and making it work. But I think for anything, if we're a mid to low point game, not gonna work. Which is a pity, because I think this list could be a blast, but I think it's just you're gonna see a lot of dead Cromwells or bailed Cromwells.
I am hoping that when we go to like Market Garden or something like that they'll have a better Cromwell list, so that
would be nice. I hope they have the Challenger, the big, macrocephalic one with the 17-pounder that can actually keep up with the platoon.
Right.
Back when it was rate of fire 3 with semi and direct fire.
Oh,
that thing was brutal.
Anymore. Well,
and
anyway,
I bought a bunch of models of those right before they went to version 4. So, I'd like to get them on the table.
That's like investing in Beanie Babies. Okay, let's.
Except you don't have to paint a Beanie Baby.
Yeah, true. Actually, the people out there, the masses, want a BC combination.
All right.
So,
okay.
I think I went C. They went B. There's a couple ways. Now, what's interesting is somewhat. Hold on. Do I have the right list? Hold on. Let me make sure. No, I do.
Yeah. One broken. Wow.
Someone said M.
Wow. All right.
You know?
I look forward to hearing from that person, because I think they're problematic, but I think they could work really well, but I also think they're problematic.
All right. Here's my drinking a Guinness in the bar, defending on why Deseret Cromwells are the meta. It's all about your attack. You pick the right attack, you're in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. I think what really hurts them is that they still only blitz on a 4. So yes, you have a 12-inch tactical, but you're not as likely to get a blitz. So, German armor, you can almost always expect to get the blitz because you're blitzing on a 3-up, which means that even if you have a 10-inch tactical, your effective move is 14. Cromwell, you're going to get 12, but you're probably going to fail your blitz.
Yes.
So you're only getting 12.
All right. So if you fail your blitz, if you make your blitz, that's a 16-inch move, and you probably can get on the side or something.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to go. It's a C.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you until I get them on the table and surprise myself. But
yeah,
I think they're gonna have trouble. And boy, oh boy, I see them getting just chewed up by like Soviets or Americans, where there's just so many shots coming at them.
Yeah, it's because they don't have enough by themselves just to do what they need to do. Right. So yeah,
and there are too many points, so you can't really max out your support.
Right.
Which is a pity. Cromwell's are coolest looking tanks in the game.
I think so. Yeah.
At least for the Americans, or sorry, for the Allies. I think the Germans have some pretty sweet ones too.
Well, this leaves last but not least the Churchill Armored Squadron. Yeah.
I have thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think they have a lot. I wish they came in 4 tank platoons. 3 tanks is too small. But 18 points, so 6 per tank, and your front armor is 9. So that's as good as a Tiger. Mm-hmm. Or as good as a Panther. So anything, sort of the AT-12 range is going to struggle to take you out. And then you have the option of swapping 1 out for 2 points that will now be front armor 11.
Right.
So that's pretty solid. Your gun is about as average as a gun is in late war, but it does have smoke. It only gets hits on a 4 in assault, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get 3 tanks in the HQ, so in theory you could have a 6-tank assault.
Right.
The Churchill CS, 3 up, can bombard. 8 2 up and direct fire. 18. The issue here is that if you take the Churchills, is you're dropping a crap ton of points. 36. Your minimum is 42 points. Yeah. So that means you're not getting you're limiting your support options. But on the other hand, it's a hell of a hammer,
Well, yeah, it's.
But I mean, I would definitely want to take a minimum of 3 platoons plus the Crusaders and maybe the Stuarts, because I have played the Soviet Churchills a lot, and the lack of speed really hurts them. They can't exploit a platoon breaks, and there's a big hole, and you just can't burst through it.
Yeah. Bursting through it, it's like, we're going.
Yeah, it's like watching oatmeal coming out of a ladle, But, I mean, top armor 2, side armor 8, they can get in against Shrek, certainly. They'd have a little trouble against Faust still, but if Faust is hitting them potentially on a 5, you have the CS is dropping smoke potentially on a 6. I mean, they're getting in, but you're only getting 3 swings, and you're hitting on a 4, so you're killing 1 Panzergren a turn.
Right.
And at least one is getting a swing back with the Faust.
Yeah, the Faust and the Shrek.
The Faust will kill it, or at least bail it.
Yeah.
And you've only got 3 tanks, so you take 1 or 2 bales and you're out of the fight.
Yeah, I was remember as Gen Con I was playing your ringer list.
Yeah,
and it was at the end with he was trying. My opponent was trying to push with his Churchill. He had a Churchill list, and I just I kept sticking around, and I just Panzerfausted him to death.
right. And then he'd break off. You'd have 2 bales, and the last tank would break off, and then the 2 bale tanks die. Next assault comes in, same thing happens. Yeah. I think this will stick around on the table. Those Churchills, I mean, front armor 9 is hard to kill. Top armor 2 nerfs most of the air assets, or at least minimizes them. Artillery's not going to kill them. I'm going to say at least a B, and I think a good player could really ruin somebody's day with them. They don't work the way I think, though, so I would have a hard time with them. But I bet I was going to say a B, because boy, it's a lot of points, not a lot for assets.
I think it's one of those things where your Churchills are moving forward. If it's infantry, I can give it to Churchills, because that you probably have 2 tank assets, and an anti-tank asset.
Mm-hmm.
You have your Achilles in the background, probably only 1 set of them.
Right. Well, you have artillery.
Yeah, and you have the artillery. Well, hold on. You bring the Averys. Basically all that stuff is moving up. And the Averys drop a world of hurt. But you need something beforehand until the Averys get there.
Yeah, and you've dropped a lot of points on these, so Crocs are probably not an option.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, this is your main killing asset. So maybe 25 pounders or 105s and some Typhoons.
Well, then I think tank on tank. I don't think these things are going to be able to take out. Like all of a sudden you're like Panthers, like SS Panthers or something.
Yeah.
I these lose.
Right.
Yeah, especially SS Panthers with some type of air support, if you can actually do that, that will take out the Achilles, or SS Panthers with even a smoke asset. Yeah, you smoke things, take out a bunch of Churchills. Next turn, smoke goes up, go after the Achilles, and say, "Boy, wasn't it fun that you came out here?" I could see something like that. I think these will really struggle with a tank on tank battle.
Oh yeah, anything heavier than like front armor 8. I'm trying to think what they would run into. I mean, I think they'll beat Panzer IVs, no problem. They'll beat T-34s. They'll struggle against the 85s, but they'll definitely beat T-34s. I think against American Shermans, they'll be okay as long as they can keep a little bit of range. But Panthers, Tigers, Sherman 76s will at least have a chance. T-34 85s will have a chance. Yeah.
Hard to say this one.
Yeah, this one. But if you run into an infantry list that's not well supported,
you'll
angry
smoke.
Stompy. You smoke them and they come in. But yeah, I would be supporting these with probably Wasps actually, if I can get those in support.
Here's the thing: I don't think you need a company of Churchills.
You need 2 platoons.
I think you need a platoon with a lot of, which then you go with everything else. But what would you give this?
If it's just the thing that always throws this off is that if I were just looking at this with no support options, I think it's an incredibly tough list. but because it costs a lot of points, you're minimizing your support options. So, but here's what you do. And then Brian, of course, will say, meh. You take this company, minimize, so you've got 2 3-tank platoons, both at, 2 tanks upgraded, and maybe a 1-tank HQ. So, so what are we looking at? 36, 30, 38, 40, 46 points. And then you take like the recon company and just minimize that. So that way, even if these guys get, busted, you still have the recon company. And then you just take a world full of artillery or something like that. And Achilles. Take a bunch of 105s and Achilles. And maybe a Typhoon. And I think that could be reasonable.
Yeah, I think you take the Typhoon to take out any anti-tank. That's like Ornices or something like that, or Achilles if you're doing Brit on Brit.
Yeah, and then you have artillery. The problem is also you can't take mortars, so you got to pay a lot of. You're paying a minimum 16 points for good artillery.
Yeah,
which is a pity, because I think compared to mortars, the 25-pounders and the priests are overpriced, and certainly I think 25-pounders are way overpriced compared to the priest. Yeah.
What, you don't think -1 point per?
Well, and here I'm jumping back here. 25-pounders are 14 points. Priests are 16. Okay.
Yeah.
25-pounders have 4-up firepower. Priests are 3-up firepower. Priests are vehicles, so they can't get pinned. Priests have AA.
Yep.
The big difference is that a 25-pounder has a direct fire rate of fire 2. But my feeling on the 25-pounder is if I'm shooting direct fire, something's gone very, very wrong.
Oh, that is true.
Although in early war, I actually would use them, put them right up in the front of my line and use them as direct fire. But this is not early war.
So, where do you give these bad boys?
I'm gonna have to say a C. I'm gonna go against the flow because I'm betting it's like A's and B's.
Oh, I'm gonna go B.
Okay.
I think in the right situation it'll crush. In the wrong situation, I think you probably will time out.
Right.
So
but I would probably want to take a Churchill platoon as a support option, not as a formation.
Let's see what the masses said.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Almost half was A, with 8 people saying M. And then there's some B's in there. And which is interesting is that you got 8 people saying M and 2 people saying D. So this one's all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. But A's
well,
and M.
I think that goes with what you said. Is in the right situation, it's going to be a hammer, but in the wrong situation, it's going to get hammered.
Or it won't lose, but it won't win.
3-tank platoons, man. 3-tank platoons. Hornice, 1 Hornice battery. Even Martyrs will give them trouble, but a Hornice battery will be like, boop.
Right.
Even the big 88s. Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm going to go you said C, I said B. With this many A's and M's, I would
say I'd get A.
Yeah, A.
Yeah. I will accept the masses know something I don't. Put your comments in the comments. Yeah. I'd be curious.
All 8 watching this live. So we'll put it in the A section. There we go. And I will now, that's the final. So I will, give me a second, switch over to that. Share screen. Where are you? Oh, there it is. So I'll pop that whole thing up.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it did form a bell curve, sort of. Though it is slightly towards the A. So you got 5 in the A, 3 in the C, but in the middle, 8. So that bell curve,
Well, it tells you it's a solid book.
it is a solid book. I don't think there's any, the SAS maybe, but the thing is with the Sherman DD you could still run them and have a good time. The SAS, I would have to play it, or it might do well in a really small point tournament.
Right. I was going to say we're basing all of this on 100 points, and at a different point level, the SAS could be awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm also impressed that it's such a mix of different kinds of lists.
Well, I think it all comes down to how it was. When everyone was thinking, how can you, how can you do the formations in there? Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to read some comments that people left. As soon as I pull it up here, some comments that people left in the survey. So I gave people an opportunity to leave comments. And where are your comments? And I'll read some of them. Come on. Here, responses. Sorry. It is. Oh, by the way, on the book itself, it averaged out to about 4s, so
Okay.
that was pretty good. The and the cards. So let's go here. By the way, those crickets, that's not really your backyard. That's our audience.
Why are they in my backyard?
I don't know. Come to visit or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Come on.
No, I'm looking at this. It's like you have a little bit of infantry and an armor in every one of the lists, or every grade.
Yeah. I don't think it's so bad.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how these things stack up when Bagration then drops. Although I'm really curious to see how the SS lists are going to go, because you can get a lot of toys on the table and a lot of good German toys.
A lot of good German toys. Well, we'll see when we get there. Because I'm kind of doing the SS leading into the migration, because I think that if someone's going to say, "Hey, we're going to have an Eastern Front red on blue," I think those are the two lists that people are going to choose from.
Oh yeah.
As of the end of September.
Yeah, everyone's going to have an SS Tiger platoon.
Well, why not? Why not? Okay. Well, it's really thinking about. Let me hit refresh here. It's really thinking about pulling that stuff down. Well, I'm going to summarize most of the comments. Most of the comments were about the formation support. How can you get the formation support in there? And that was a driving thing for a lot of people, and that's kind of where we were going with it too. I think everyone was kind of feeling that on this book. It's because hey, Achilles, hey, I need to take care of big heavy stuff.
Right.
Hey, how do I take care of infantry? Oh, you know what? I got
Crocs.
Yeah, I got Crocs. Which, by the way, is very comfortable shoes. I heard. Yeah.
Right.
Remember, we knew someone who wore Crocs. Come on.
That's right. Is that John? I've always just heard
Oh.
of them referred to as gay kryptonite. It'd be
Oh.
interesting to look at these grades if it was just the formation without any formation support. That would skew the list pretty hard.
What is that cat doing? Anyway.
He's sleeping in there. You knocked my plates over.
Yeah. La la la. Feel free. Oh. Bumming through here.
Oh, someone's got a.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's do one of these things. What have you guys learned? So once you start propping up your what have I learned?
Mhm.
Hey, Joe, you got a spammer.
Oh, this guy.
Dylan Smith, yeah.
Okay, and funny how that works because we do that, and then do that, and anyway, so yeah, this thing is pretty neat. I just blow away the spammer here.
Yeah. I would say in this list, the must-have platoons are going to be Crocs if you got them, Typhoon, that 14-inch range on the rockets is awesome, so that you can avoid a lot of, especially if you're playing against an American player who's got 80-50 cals on the field, you can avoid a lot of them. And it will kill tanks. It will kill them quite effectively, even top armor too. Last tournament I played in, they took out a whole crocodile platoon, so that was pretty nice for 8 points. And the Achilles, obviously, with AT-14 for 18 points. Yes, it is expensive, and yes, it's trained, so it's has trained skill, so it can't always count on it blitzing into firing position or shooting and scooting out of firing position. And unlike the Americans, it can't blitz, fire, and then shoot and scoot back off the ridge or back into cover. But it's still having a 14 gun is critical if you're going to be running up against Tigers or some of the new Soviet lists or Panthers or even Churchills.
For the people out there, let's go with Aaron. I think there's going to be more high at
AT.
coming out. Yeah. Oh, more. Yeah. Oh, I say more high AT coming out, and I don't think the SS Tigers will be the best thing out of the SS book. Fearless, trained vet. Wait a minute. That skill artillery.
I agree.
On the end, right? Well, yeah.
I agree. I think the SS artillery is the best thing in that book. So you take SS support with the Army list.
Yeah. Okay. Then anyone? Anne, did you learn anything today?
I'm just overwhelmed. I know that there are some lists that are very scattered.
Yes.
In terms of their opinions.
Lists are scattered. Yeah,
lists are scattered. That's an excellent way of describing it.
Let's see. I don't know. What did I learn?
That Cromwells are expensive. Were the Cromwells are expensive?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Patrick, he learned that Indiana has a lot of crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
We do. And cicadas.
Let's see here. Mr. Hill, rifle company with
Stan Hollis, yeah.
The guy, the card. Do you remember what Stan Hollis does?
Not off the top of my head. I remember him back in the days of version 3. I don't remember what the version 4 version of Stan Hollis does.
I want.
It probably makes his platoon bet or something like that. I don't know, but
No, they probably hit on threes or
they already
no,
hit on threes.
probably hit on twos, and
This
or they make something better. Um,
beer.
and but I think it's like 4 points, so it's a good.
It's an investment.
Yeah, it's a good.
I'll have to look it up when I have my cards in front of me.
Yeah. Oh, on. He has come out.
There you go.
Better. The rally on a 3. Oh,
That's
oh
big.
yeah. That
That's
is
worth
big.
4 points.
By the way, is that for the platoon? That's for the platoon, right?
Probably anybody in command.
I think it's actually the guy's part of the platoon.
Okay.
Yeah, and
But yes, that is big. And if it is the company, the formation commander, that's even better.
Oh, that'd be a lot better. Let's see here. Brian, Germans still have issues with not having medium tank that is priced reasonably. Yeah, in version 3, my favorite tank was the Panzer IV. I'm just not interested in Panzer IVs.
Even the SS Panzer IV with the reduced cost.
Yeah, it's reduced cost, but it's still it's basically it still sucks.
It's hit on threes, yeah.
Yeah, it's hit on so it dies even more because there's so much heavy anti-tank out there, and you don't have that. You can't play that game of sneakiness.
Yeah.
Like you could before. Sure, you could be behind the hill, stormtrooper up, shoot, and then hope that you go back. And hello, Sherman. Oh yeah, you heard Panzer IVs, huh? Yes. What do Shermans do to Panzer IVs? Yeah, that's right. They make the sing songs about.
They smoke them and flank them.
Yeah, smoke them and flank them. Smoke them if you got them. All right. Anyway, so but
see Sherman's ears sticking up.
yeah. Anyway, I don't know if we're gonna get much more out of all 6 of the people watching. The good news is that a lot more people watch after the fact. I guess that way they can hit the fast forward to the slow points. Oh, they're looking in the book again. Fast forward, fast forward. They're talking about some crickets. Fast forward, fast forward. And they can get to the meat potatoes. I'm sure. Hey, what do you want for free for an hour and a half?
That's right. It's not like time is worth anything.
Yeah, well, listen to this while you're painting.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you're like, as you're listening to this, you can like yell at your computer. Those guys know nothing.
Well, I'm going to look forward to when I hit some of these lists where I'm giving them, like a C, and everybody else is giving them an A, and see how badly it goes for me. Yeah, like now I understand why everybody likes this list. Is I'm licking my wounds, handing in my 1-8 scorecard.
Yeah, it's another thing too. It might be one of those things where you have the list, and someone knows that. Hey, if you have card A and card B with this list, all of a sudden it changes the dynamic. Maybe we, haven't really looked at that.
Yep.
So
yeah, I haven't really looked at. I don't really know the cards very well yet.
Maybe you need to do a show on the cards.
Yeah, right. Well, here's card number 5.
Yeah.
It's like, you can look through the cards. But the idea is just, hey, helping. The idea is to help tournament players who are new to this, because here in Indiana, we're starting to get some new players and some players that we're quasi playing back into the game. Matter of fact, I walked when I went to go buy the Achilles, and I walked into Family Time Games. There's a couple people playing Flames of War.
Awesome. Anybody we know, or even better, we don't?
No, yeah, well, you know them from the store,
Yeah. Okay.
and so I I chewed the fat with Shane, the store
Hmm.
owner, and then went over there and helped them out. You know, they had a couple rule questions, and helped them out a little, or straighten them out on how things work. Some
That's great.
sequencing. They had most of the game. They just a couple of the oddball things. Like assaults, and they need to be clear on a couple of things. But yeah, they were doing great.
Good.
But yeah,
Good.
so those guys are doing fine.
Yeah, I swung by Sinclair the other day, pick up some paint, and yep, there were guys playing there. So
Was it a Wednesday?
it was. Actually, I have no idea. No, it would have been a Saturday.
Oh, all
So I
right.
had to go to work.
So the people are playing. That's good. You like to see that. Hey, everybody. Kind of like if you listen this long, subscribe to my channel. Just it's on. I have a YouTube channel, Battle Rankings.
Hit the notification bell.
Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that when this comes on, you can go, hey, you know what? It's Tuesday. I need to watch this. And it's there to watch. It's being all recorded for all time. Also, on the Facebook Battle Rankings, subscribe that when I send out blast or whatever. I like terms like I'm a hipster, man. Yeah, when we send out blast and the interweb and things, notifications. Matter of fact, I started with the YouTube first. So there's some older things out there that I've recorded. I need to get some of the Facebook stuff off.
Yeah.
And put it on the YouTube also. Right. Yeah, Battle Rankings. So I'm simultaneously sending this wonderful entertainment and education and everything we know and love here. What's that? Yeah, I made a couple more YouTube videos. Anyway, you can go there. That stuff's a little bit more edited. This is a little bit more raw. Our marketing has showed that people don't like overproduction. They want raw.
They really want crickets.
They want crickets. Matter of fact, they said 10% more crickets equals 50% more viewership.
In my case, we got about 500%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, my when we were off for a month, and then I put the part one of this out there. Yeah, I had like almost a 4,000% interaction, which was pretty good since you're going from 2 to something, But hey, by the way, watch this. Stay tuned. Keep up with this, because one of the things I want to do is I'm going to go back to this. Whoops, didn't like that.
Sorry.
Oh, was that you?
That was me.
Okay. Let me go back to the schedule here. Yeah, because next week we'll be doing the D-Day Germans, and I have my special guest with me for parts 1 and 2, and after that we'll be talking, which is a Monday, the 28th. Long story. I have stuff. I actually go out of town to visit the home office on those Tuesdays. I might not get back soon enough, so no reason to do it. And on the 28th, we're looking at different tools for scoring tournaments. And one of the things I'm going to go over is Best Coast pairings If you don't know what it is, you'll be excited. If you do know what it is, you want to know, figure out how to use it. I'm going to try to figure out how to way to show you guys. Then we're going to talk about the Americans, then the SS, and then by that time, people have had plenty of time to take a look at the bagration, and so we should get some really good opinions on that and go over those lists.
Patrick Blue is asking for Crowd Machine.
So, yeah. Do you have a laugh?
If I have a laugh track or not.
Yeah.
Hold on a second here.
Like.
I do.
And I said, you know what to do with your $2.
I gotta set it. Hold on a second. I gotta set it. Hold on a second. It's in the wrong place.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Oh, this is the laugh track.
Crickets.
Yeah, hold on. Ready? Get ready to hit that again. Ready? Yeah, I think that list is an A.
British
Right.
can win without support options. Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, so I think we're looking for, you know what? I think this started turning into a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Oh, God.
It doesn't quite know where to end. So I'm going to end it with that.
Thank you, Andrew Hoff.
Play us out, please. Yeah.
Yes, Andrew, thank you for your time and helping
My
us do
pleasure.
this.
Thank you.
As our British SME, subject
right.
matter expert. And thank to you for those who stayed on here. I'm wondering how many people just said, I'm going to watch that and just turn the volume down or something like that. I don't know. And and thanks to you for those who watch. I hope let other people know, spread the word, hit, smash the like button. You just don't press it. You have to smash it. Tell your friends. I'm going to try to turn this into something. By the way, I don't make a dime out of this. And the only way I can make a dime out of this is I need 10,000 subscribers.
Oh, my goodness.
It will never happen. That means
I don't think that many play Flames in the entire world. Yeah.
Yeah, well, plays
The
Flames,
US,
almost religiously to hit it.
So everybody make 10 different identities. Yeah. 10 different email accounts.
It ain't happening.
Yeah.
So I don't care. So what we're going to do is we're trying to educate everybody, talk about this, have some fun. By the way, we're not the only ones doing anything doing something like this. Tom and Ed.
Yep.
They're doing their podcast.
Yep.
So
yep.
You got
No Dice, No Glory with Mitch and
so,
yep.
Yeah, you got so you got those guys doing stuff. We're doing stuff. So anyway, watch us, like us, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell us what you think. And anyway, we can only get better doing this. Anyway, so we'll do this. Ann, why don't you go ahead and play us out?
Okay.